Financial aid secrets colleges don't want you to know. It almost sounds too crazy to believe, but it's 100% true. Financial aid is not always used to help students pay for college. In fact, many colleges and universities actually use scholarships, grants, and other financial aid as recruitment tools to attract the students they want and filter out the others. As shocking as this fact is, you have to keep in mind that colleges are businesses, and this practice has increasingly been used to support those businesses and protect them from the fiscal pressure so many of them are facing. This is true of both private and public universities. According to a recent educational report, over the last 2 decades, there has been a fundamental shift in the admission practices of many public universities. State disinvestment and institutional status seeking have worked together hand in hand to encourage public institutions to use those institutional aid dollars strategically in order to lure affluent students to their campuses and in order to climb the rankings and increase their revenue. As a result, fewer institutional aid dollars are available for students who come from less privileged backgrounds. As the report says, colleges are not doing this with malicious intent. Many of them are simply trying to keep their doors open. Unfortunately, our high schoolers are the ones getting hurt. I'm not telling you this to make you angry, but to drive home a point you've probably already been aware of. When it comes to getting your teenager into a good school, and for them to actually be able to afford it, the stakes are really high. Competition is fiercer than ever. I often share the statistic that over the past 15 years, college applications have increased by 108%, but schools are actually admitting 15% fewer students with the same GPA and test scores that might have gotten them in even 5 or 10 years ago. Teens who don't have wealthy, well-connected parents have the odds stacked against them. That's why I'm here. Hi, I'm Pamela Donnelly, college admissions specialist, mother of 3, and best-selling author. I'm on a mission to equalize access to higher education regardless of a student's socioeconomic status. As the creator of GATE College System, I've been honored to be featured on ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, in Time Magazine, the New York Times, and elsewhere. I'm excited to share insider information with you that will help you beat those unfair odds, remove confusion, and help your child gain access to every option available to him or her, including some you may think are out of reach. And in this 4-part video series, you're going to discover what financial aid officers won't tell you about making higher education affordable, why almost all the popular programs out there are teaching ACT and SAT test prep the wrong way, what to do if your high schooler's GPA isn't where it needs to be, even if it seems like you need a miracle at this stage of the game, ways to dramatically increase merit aid even without any change in GPA or test scores, how to eliminate the overwhelm students inevitably face as they approach the applications process, and how to practically force your teen's top choice schools to compete for him or her instead of the other way around. Yes, you heard that right. Financial aid is something you can negotiate. See, you're saving money on college already. Later on, I'll share some tips on how to make the most of those negotiations. Until now, most of these strategies have only been accessible to wealthy families. Parents have paid big money to get their hands on this information. I should know, I'm one of the experts who's charged thousands of dollars for one-on-one consultations with these parents, and I've helped their teens get into the best colleges in the country. Today, I'm going to share some of my most valuable strategies for free. Now, why in the world am I doing this? Why would I just give away information when I could continue charging 5 figures per student to share it? There are 2 reasons, really. First, there are so many things about navigating today's college admissions process that you don't know. And you don't know that you don't know them. Not knowing these things can seriously limit the options your high schooler has after graduation. It can also cost tens of thousands of dollars in tuition that could have been saved if someone had clued you in. Second, as an educator with over 20 years of experience, as a teacher, tutoring agency founder, and college admissions consultant, I've seen firsthand too many terrific students for whom paying for college was so intimidating that they were afraid to even apply. Worst of all, I've seen teens struggle through rigorous high school coursework and stressful college applications, only to find that the price of admission really was too costly. I feel it's my responsibility to help every student I can, no matter how much money their parents have. So whether it's an ambitious 9th grader who's already got his or her head in the game, or an 11th grader who waited longer, there is still time to make critical moves that can have significant impact on the outcome. Despite all the pieces to this puzzle, knowing the right things to focus upon can make a real difference. With that in mind, let me tell you 2 quick stories. Because a few moments ago, I made a pretty outrageous claim, and I can't just drop a bomb like that and not back it up. Not too long ago, a selective university in Washington, D.C. that claimed to be need-blind admitted to being less than honest about giving preference to wealthy students in the admissions process. The school's own newspaper reported that hundreds of academically comparable students who were needier were waitlisted because they lacked financial resources. On top of that, federal data showed that lower-income students who did get in paid a hefty price. Students from households making $30,000 or less a year paid a whopping $21,000 to attend on average. What makes this story even sadder is the fact that this is not an isolated incident. Private and public colleges are increasing tuition costs and shifting their financial aid towards students who need it less. That's why the information you're going to get in this video series is so important and so valuable. Okay, quick story number 2. A student of mine named Connor had a different outcome. I was able to help him prepare for college and maximize his merit-based financial aid. As a result, he was accepted at his top choice school, as well as pretty much every other college he applied to. Here's what his mother had to say, quote, "It was really beneficial to watch him grow. I don't think he would have been able to do this on his own. So Connor is going to have that opportunity, and I'm going to be able to pay for it now because we got awesome financial aid and assistance." It's all about knowing how to work the system. So let me share 4 counterintuitive secrets to getting the kind of awesome financial aid Connor's mom was so happy about. Here's the first one. Be strategic about which colleges your teen applies to. Here's why. If your student lies within the top 10% to 25% of a college's student body based on GPA and standardized test scores, he or she is significantly more likely to receive offers of sizable merit aid. Great merit aid equals free money that doesn't have to be paid back. So make sure your teen applies to schools that place him or her in the upper echelons of that student body. Next, avoid private corporate scholarships. These scholarships may seem like a great idea, but in truth, they make up just 7% of the $46 billion per year available to help pay for college. They can also waste a lot of time, and they usually come in tiny increments. Investing time where the potential return is greater makes more sense, helping a teen to do well enough in school to attract the maximum amount of merit aid. Then, encourage your teen not to apply for early decision or early action. As nice as it sounds to have a stress-free spring in the senior year, this will virtually eliminate chances of receiving additional aid from the school. Remember, colleges are businesses, and if they know you're contractually locked into attending their school once they accept you, why would they bother throwing free money at you? They wouldn't. That's why I strongly encourage students with economic disadvantages to be patient, apply regular decision, and keep working toward the greatest amount of merit aid possible with increased GPAs and test scores. Finally, you have to negotiate. I know no one has ever told you this before, but yes, the amount of money a school may offer a student is negotiable. Of course, the amount of leverage a student has depends on a few factors: how academically competitive the profile is, and how he or she would rank within the student body of that college. Within the top 25% in terms of test scores and GPA means better offers are likely. Having at least one or two offers from other schools of a similar academic caliber creates the ideal situation. Negotiating with the financial aid offices at multiple schools can create a sort of bidding war to see which school will offer the most lucrative financial aid package. Colleges want their classes full of desirable students. After a school sends out an acceptance letter indicating they want a student to enroll, admissions officers often work to figure out how to entice a decision in their favor. What many parents don't know is that after offering admission, a college is under even more pressure to close the deal. When students turn down admissions officers, that lowers what's known as the school's yield rate, which can hurt its college rankings. Again, it's business, but it gets played like a game. And the prestige of seeming to have high selectivity is part of that. Colleges want a maximum number of applicants and then to admit only those they're confident can academically and financially go the distance. They want high yield and low attrition, which is what happens when students drop out or transfer without completing their degree at that school. As long as the student is equally enthusiastic about attending either option, why not negotiate for additional free money? Even 5 to 15% more can help you keep thousands of extra dollars in your pocket. So remember, be strategic about which schools to apply to. Focus on federal need-based grants through your FAFSA and earning merit-based scholarships at the institution. Do not apply early decision or early action unless mom or dad is a high net worth individual and ready to pay full sticker price. And negotiate. Those 4 steps will make sure there's a far more level playing field and potentially save a lot of money. With the right strategies in place, I've seen students get $35,000, $40,000, even more in financial aid, all the way up to full ride scholarships. Smart students that work with my team and me implement these strategies to get proven results. That's the end of today's video. In video number 2, we're going to dive into SAT and ACT prep, why it's so important, and how almost everyone is teaching it the wrong way. This information will have a major impact on college acceptance, scholarships, and other financial aid. It'll also save students money on test prep itself. You're not going to want to miss this. So stay tuned for video 2. See you then.